let's go to the circus. Today we are going to the circus and you can see the lovely Northern Irish weather. I haven't been to the circus in many years. Here I am going to buy some tickets for the circus. We are waiting in the queue to get our tickets. And here you can see our tickets with great seats right by the stage. It was cold and we had some time, so we bought coffee. Okay, so it is time. Walking into the circus, we can read about the history of the family. This circus started in 1775. Wow, that's crazy. When we entered the tent, or the big top, which is what they call it, we got fantastic seats right beside the stage. We could see everything so clearly and had a full view of where the performers are. You can also buy snacks like popcorn, nuts, sweets, and lots of other food. The atmosphere was fantastic with the lights, the smoke, and the music. It felt very cool. Here you can see some children getting their faces painted with nice colors. And now the opening performance. Lots of actors and acrobats, some of the clowns, they came out and did an opening performance to get people excited in the crowd and to make them excited for the rest of the show. Next, there was a laser show, and this was surprisingly very, very cool. I was not expecting it. It isn't a usual performance or activity at a circus, but it was very, very cool. And the effects felt like I was in a video game or virtual reality. Some of the lasers were very, very interesting, and children especially loved this show. You can see in the background the different colors changing, and it looks like the man is controlling the lasers and the light show. This particular part with the green lights made me think of the movie The Matrix. And I really enjoyed this laser show. It is crazy how many lasers they got in one big tent. Oh, look, there I am, excited. Okay, so next we had a clown. Every circus has a clown. And this one, he was a mime, so he pretended that lots of things were happening. His job is to keep the crowd entertained while we wait for the next performance. So while he entertains everyone, they set up and get ready. Okay, so we can see here a lady has come out and she is juggling. And we call these people jugglers. So they throw lots of different balls, collect them in their hands, and continue to throw. I don't have lots of videos of this, but she started to get more and more balls, and it got more difficult. She even began to play the drums with all of the balls. It was very impressive. Then there was a performance that was more for children. It involved people dressed as Spider-Man doing lots of tricks with skipping. And finally, but next there was my favorite performance. And this was called the Ball of Death. It is a big ball, and inside some motorcyclists, so people riding motorcycles, ride around the ball. This guy was from Brazil, and it was very impressive. So he picks up speed, he gets faster, and he rides around the ball upside down and around and around. And I thought, wow, this is so cool, but also very dangerous. And I was really, really shocked when I discovered that it was about to get even more dangerous. Just when I thought it was over, another rider entered the ball of death. So now we were going to have 2 of them riding around super fast in that one tiny ball. Take a look at this. They are holding hands and riding around. It was so impressive. You can see my wife is very shocked. It almost felt like they were going to fly out and hit us. It was so cool to watch. And finally, there was 3 motorcycle riders in the ball. So 3 of them in that tiny space. Just watch how this goes. I think that this must be so hard to do. So they will get started in 1 second. Here they go. So they ride around the side and they all hold hands. And they are so close to one another. At this point I thought, wow, if one of them slows down, they will all crash. But they are so skilled and good. The next act or performance was some acrobats. They jumped on a lever, so almost like a catapult, and fired one person into the air where they did some tricks and landed on different things. This was very cool and impressive too. As often they weren't even using a lot of safety wires and equipment. So you can see here they have a ladder, someone is climbing the ladder, someone stands on the catapult which fires things into the air. Then someone will jump, or 2 guys I think, will jump on one end, boom, and fire them into the air onto the mat. So this one was cool, but the next one was even more impressive. So you can see they do have safety equipment for this. They fired him into the air and he was caught by his fellow acrobats. We had another small performance from the clown to keep people interested and entertained while they set up and prepared for the next big performance. The kids loved this one. This lady was an acrobat or a contortionist, so she can move her body into lots of difficult positions. This takes a lot of strength, particularly upper body strength. I've had to mute the audio on this one because it had some copyrighted music, but it was very, very cool. I don't really know what to call this, but these ladies, they spun these carpets around on their fingers and toes. It looked very difficult. I definitely couldn't do it, but I don't know what it's called. The final act was very, very different. I hadn't seen something like this before. So it was called the Wheel of Death. They really like names using death. And what this was, is it's 2 almost hamster wheels attached to one another that spin around and round. And there are 2 men inside, one of which who is actually the ringmaster, so the person who organizes what is happening in the circus. And they went around and around doing lots of tricks on both the outside and the inside of the wheels with no safety protection. This involved skipping, so jumping with a rope on the wheels, and as well, one of them even did a backflip, or maybe it was a front flip. So they jumped in the air and turned their body around while the wheel was moving. I think maybe it was at this point, yes, you can see it, he did a jump and landed. And it was very, very dangerous. And the crowd really enjoyed it. And that was our circus trip. Thank you for coming with us, and subscribe for more. I hope you enjoyed.